Welcome students, chapter 13, other useful free tools and services. Now computer files, you know that a computer has lakhs of files on them and we need some of those files, and sometimes we don't even use many of those files. But to transfer all these large files, it takes more storage space and more time. So computer networks and external storage devices are usually not as fast as internal components. Matlab, when you want to try copying a file from your computer to pen drive or on a network device or on internet, it is very slow. So considering this issue, there is a need to reduce the amount of storage space occupied by computer files so that it can be transferred fast. So computer scientists have developed techniques to place a whole directory structure into a single file, and such file is called archive. So data compression now. So computer scientists have also developed a number of techniques for reducing the storage requirement of computer files and directory structures. These techniques are called data compression, and data compression is very useful because it has two benefits. It saves space and it gets transmitted or transferred to other devices fast. Data compression generally works by identifying repetition in the data. Compression is only possible if there is some repetition in the data, and then encoding the data in a way that reduces or it eliminates such repetitions. Some techniques also identify and eliminate less important information which can be removed permanently from the data and conserves space. Archive manager topic is not in syllabus this year, so we will skip that. VLC media player. You would be definitely knowing about VLC media player, very easy topic. VLC, that is originally the short form for Video LAN Client, is a media player that is developed as a part of academic project by the music loving students at a university in Paris. There are varieties of conversion, that is coding, of multimedia information coming from hardware devices into computer data, and reverse, that is going from computer to hardware devices, that is decoding. So that combined word is codec, that is coding and decoding. So ultimately coding and decoding means when through software any multimedia file plays, that software, the multimedia file is stored in binary format, it goes to hardware and then it takes the form of sound or image or moving object and like that. And similarly, when we record something, either audio or video, it takes the input from hardware devices and then gets decoded and stored in binary format. So that is coding and decoding. Each multimedia data format requires its own codec. It means when you work with different multimedia format files like MKV, MP4, MOV, there are many even old media file. All those file requires their own codec, that is coding and decoding software. The advantage of VLC is that it supports almost all the popular codecs, and hence all the popular multimedia file formats are supported by VLC media player. Now working with VLC media player, once we open VLC media player through Linux, you can open by going to applications menu. In that you have sound and video menu. We may open one or more files using the options media open file menu item of VLC media player. The first one, that is applications sound and video menu, is of Linux, whereas media open file option is for VLC. We may open entire directory using media open directory option. When one or more files are opened in VLC media player, they are added to the playlist. So to playlist, the playlist can also be saved using media save playlist to file option and can be opened using view playlist file option. We can use VLC to convert media files from one format to another format. So it is also possible that you can convert the video file format from one to another format, and for this we need to select media, convert and save option from the menu. Remember, this convert save option allows you to do many different things. There are many things you can do using VLC media player, like rotating your video, cropping your video, joining your video, changing the format of the video. There are many things you can do. Then next is Google Maps. Google Map is also very popular among you. You must be knowing about Google Map. Google Map is a free internet-based service provided by Google Incorporation. Google has collected extensive map data for the whole earth through various means. Like Google has almost collected almost entire earth's data it has collected. And how it has collected? There are many ways Google has collected all this data. You might be wondering that even a small village street name or a particular place name you can see in the Google Map. So all this data they collected using satellite imagery, cars, that is the cars like automatic car or even the passenger car, where they keep the camera on the mounted on car and then they record the location, all the streets and everything. And data purchased from other organizations, like local organization who has got some data, they might have purchased from that, and data provided by millions of individual users around the world. You know that even being a user, we can even provide some data to Google that this location, this place is here, like our own home or other area and places. Google Map allows user to upload photographs of the place and post reviews of the place also, that you know very well. The service can be accessed from the web browser and mobile phone as well from the Google Map applications. You can use Google Map from mobile devices, from a web browser if you are using desktop, and from Google Map applications. Now, Google Maps, while using Google Maps service through a mobile phone, the user's location can be known with a very high accuracy if the mobile's GPS facility is kept on. GPS is Global Positioning System. So this system finds user's location with an estimated error of only few meters using satellite signals. Very few meters, hardly 5 or 10 meters correction. Otherwise it gives almost exact location of the mobile devices. Google Maps can show the information of a place in different formats like satellite view, map view, many different other ways. But these are the two main views of Google Map, that is satellite view and map view. The default view is map view. I'm underlining is again that default view of Google Map is map view because it has been asked in the board exam quite often. Google Maps also provides the facility of getting directions on how to reach from place 1 to place B. So you know that, you also know it very well, that if you are looking for a place, then you can put that in Google Map and then get the direction, so that Google Map will direct you that how you can reach to that particular location. The different uses of Google Map services. For what purposes Google Map can be used? Can be used to search for a place and find its exact location. Government organizations and businesses use the services to provide people information on how to reach their offices. It provides facility to display a map of any place on one's website. If on my website, if I want to put a map of where exactly my office or my school or my home location is exactly, I can put the Google Map screen over there. So that also is provided by Google Map. Tourist information websites and tourism department also make use of the services. It is also used to display bus routes, current location of running trains, even flight location, everything that can be even observed using Google Maps. It provides facility of finding the nearest ATM center, bank, restaurant, bus stop, or any other such essential places like hospital and library and etc. Next is character map. The character map program can be used to enter Unicode characters into any program. Now what is that character map? You know that generally computer supports thousands of characters, Gujarati and Hindi and Sanskrit and many other languages, Spanish language, French language, Japanese language, Urdu, many languages, many characters are supported. But you know that keyboard has got very limited characters. Then how to get the rest of the characters? We can get that using character map, which is Unicode characters. So left side of character map allows to select the script, which script you want to you are looking for, and under that script it will show you the different characters. Brief details of the character currently selected with a single click or entered with double click are shown in the status line at the bottom of the character map dialog box. More details about the character is available in the character details tab. If you want to know that more detail about that without using character map, what is its Unicode character, so that you can type that Unicode character to get that character. So all these details are also available. Character map is a good solution if you only have to type a few characters in another script occasionally. But if you want to type full paragraphs or pages, then character map cannot be used. It is only for typing few characters. If I want not equal to sign, if I want square root sign, if I want theta sign, sometime if I want such symbols in my document, we can use character map. Now the R software, a very different kind of software is also introduced, that is R software. R software is a statistical analysis software. R is a free software environment for statistical computing, and it's a GNU project. GNU as such, there is no such full form, but GNU is generally known as not Unix. So all those software which are developed by keeping in mind free software, open source software, that all software mostly comes under the project of GNU. R has its own scripting language. R is a case sensitive language. You know, case sensitive means the R commands are case sensitive. If it is in small, it has to be small. If it is in capital, it has to be capital. We can't change the case of the commands available in R software. R has two types of work environments: command line environment, that is CLI, and graphical environment, that is GUI. Command line interface and graphical user interface, CLI and GUI. To use R in GUI, that is in graphical user interface, you need to install graphics editor like R Commander or R Studio. But in fact, in our syllabus, we have command line interface of R software. To invoke the R scripts from terminal window, open terminal, that is the place where you can give the command, and terminal is your window. You start your R software by double clicking, and it will start on the terminal window. Open terminal and type R on the command prompt. You will get a welcome message along with R prompt. R prompt is indicated by greater than sign. Remember, R prompt is indicated by greater than sign. Some R basics you need to remember for exam point of view. Hash is the comment marker. Hash sign is comment marker. Whenever you want to write comment in R software, you use hash. Number and string are the basic two data types of R software. Strings may be enclosed within single or double inverted comma. So when writing string, you are free to use either single inverted comma or double inverted comma. Ordered list of items are commonly used and are also referred to as vectors. The ordered list of items, it is called vectors. Lists are created using C function. C function is used to create list. When both operands of binary operators are list, so it is like your maths. If both operands of binary operators are list, their length should be same. So while multiplying or adding or doing any operation on a list, then both the lists should have same number of items in that. Entering the name of a variable and pressing enter will display the value of that variable. Our basics still continues. So as I said, the symbol greater than sign indicates the prompt of R. Writing a less than minus 10 defines variable a and assigns value 10 to it. So less than and minus sign together makes assignment operator. It is used to assign RHS to LHS. Q function is very interesting function. Q is used to quit R software. Help function is for accessing the online help for R software. Demo function to view some demonstration which are given by R software. Help.start is to open online help in browser. So the difference between help and help.start is help gives you the online help, but help.start is to open online help in browser. Help other that normal help will give help in the R environment only. Help with a function name will give you the help about that particular function. ls, the last one, they make sure that it is not is, it is ls, small l, small s. So ls function is used to display a list of all the variables defined in R environment. A series of consecutive numbers, that is the range of numbers, may be generated using the syntax start colon end. For example, 1 colon 5 is same as 1 2 3 4 5. R also provides basic statistical functions in quite straightforward form, like list. If I create a variable name list and assign the values 34, 65, 8, 4, 76, 34, 35, 89, 57 and 21. So C function is used to create list of values as we discussed here in this, that the fifth point, list are created using C function. So we have created this list. So minimum list, maximum list, median list, mean list, we can find like all this like this. So that is possible when we store many values under one variable name using the function C function. Plotting in R is not in your syllabus, so we will be skipping this plotting in R. Rational Plan. Rational Plan is an open source software which is designed to assist project manager in preparing their, maintaining and following a well-defined project plan. So if you are executing any project, you know that that project may have so many inputs and so many constraints and so many limitations and even deadline and many things. So Rational Plan software allows you to manage your project. It will manage your project. So Rational Plan, and it's an open source software. Rational Plan assists project managers throughout the life cycle of their project. Right from the beginning of the project till end of the project, it will assist project manager. Rational Plan comprises 3 different desktop products, and they are Rational Plan Single, Rational Plan Multi and Rational Plan Viewer. Rational Plan Single allows to manage independent projects that do not have common resources and has no interrelationship between different projects. So the standalone project. So Rational Plan Single can handle standalone independent project. It allows the manager to associate general project information. These few sentences are very important for you to remember, because board exam they ask that which of the following Rational Plan version allows the manager to associate general project information. Then it is Rational Plan Single. It provides project tracking tools such as critical path, mark completion value for tasks, work and cost time phased information. So remember all these things also, that all these things belongs to Rational Plan Single. We can generate a printable report as well as import data from other project management tool or export our data into other format using Rational Plan. Rational Plan Multi, the second version. Rational Plan Multi allows you to manage projects that share company resources across projects. So those projects where multiple projects which belongs to one company but are shared and being distributed at different location at different places but belonging to only single company, that can be handled using Rational Plan Multi. It also manages independency between projects. So all independent projects are also maintained and their combined work is also managed by Rational Plan Multi. Rational Plan Multi calculates resource data considering their assignments in all projects. Rational Plan Multi allows links between tasks pertaining to different projects, analyzes all our projects data, and then finally creates a project portfolio view. The last one is Rational Plan Viewer. Rational Plan Viewer is an additional tool developed to share the projects in its original file format, and that is XRP. Remember, this also being asked in board exam quite often. Rational Plan Viewer can be used to open Microsoft project file also. So as such, Rational Plan Viewer is like Acrobat Reader, where you can open PDF which are created by different software. You might create PDF from Excel, you might create PDF from PowerPoint, but all those PDF can be opened by PDF Viewer or Acrobat Reader. Similarly, if you have created a project in Microsoft Project, that project also can be viewed using Rational Plan Viewer. But remember, it can only be viewed, it cannot be modified. Rational Plan Viewer is useful to anybody who needs to check and overview the project's evolution without making any changes in the schedule and for resources to see their assignments. So they can only see the project and see the project evaluations, but cannot make any changes to the schedule. That is Rational Plan Viewer. And the last topic of chapter 13 is Skype. Skype service, you know that it is for distance calling, video calling like Zoom, but after Zoom and other video calling software has come, Skype is now almost not used much. The Skype service allows user to communicate with peers using voices, videos as well as text and other screen sharing software. Skype also provides additional features like file transfer and video conferencing. The source code of Skype is proprietary and not available for modification. So remember, Skype is not a open source software. Skype is a freeware. It is not open source software. So its source is proprietary. As the third point says, the source code of Skype is proprietary. So it is not available to the user. To start Skype, choose application Internet Skype, that is in Linux. If you are opening it for the first time, there is typing mistake. It is it, not if. So if you are opening it for the first time, it will open an end user license agreement window. The last point is again written for keeping in mind the board exam, that which of the following is open when we open Skype for the first time. Then it opens end user license agreement window. So I hope chapter 13 very easy and very known topics are there. So please take care, prepare it properly, and then do your best in your exam. Thank you for watching.